Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to the Anime Talk, the show where sometimes we just rock on that, baby. Woo! Going rock on that. I know, that was terrible, right? Oh, so horrible. But anyways, clearly from that, what we talk about today in the Anime Talk is music and anime. Now, typically on anime website, I've never heard of the word anime. What the hell is that? Typically on anime community websites, forums, etc., I see a lot of people talking about different things. Of course, you see people talking about how, oh, this show didn't have a great story, or this show had subpar animations or really good animations, or the show had horrible voice acting, great voice acting, etc. But typically, I have to remind people that sometimes there's one element that seems like it's sort of unnoticed. It's not always unnoticed, mind you. Don't get me wrong, but it's something that's kind of forgotten once in a while. That's the OST, or the soundtrack of an anime. Now, without music, without the company's score, the soundtrack, whatever you want to call it, anime would be a lot different. There's a lot of times where you see an epic battle scene, maybe like Guts is about to fight a whole bunch of men in that 100 battle scene, and when you see that, you're hearing the kind of clashing of metal, the clashing of heavy swords, arrows, everything. But also what you're hearing is a tune that goes with it that makes the battle look even better, that makes it sound better, that makes it work way better. And because that is what accompanies a song, what accompanies the actual anime, it makes the actual scene that much more relevant. It makes it more presentable. Without that kind of OST that works in the background of a good anime, you'll have a lot of kind of plot points or epic moments kind of die out. I'm watching Steins Gate recently again. This is probably my ninth or 10th time watching Steins Gate, I'll be honest with you guys and girls. But I'm watching that again, and I always think, man, the music they use in this actual show is amazing. It's right on point. You hear, during these really sad scenes, a kind of melodic tune that makes you feel and, get emotionalized into the scene. On moments that are really horrific or kind of intense, you hear that kind of tune that's blasting. It's like you're making you feel frantic and panicked yourself. That is a good OST. That is something that's working with the anime to make the scene, to make the imagery, to make what is there stronger. Now, in other forms of medium, that's not always possible. Like, you can't have books, for example, be presented with music. It's not really possible. I'll be honest with you guys and girls, I typically read a lot. This is something kind of a homage to me, I guess, in the sense of what I do in my daily life. I actually read a lot when it comes to having music on at the same time. Now, I know people go, well, how can you get invested? You're listening to music and reading at the same time. Aren't you multitasking? Well, I'm not multitasking per se. I'm listening to music, and that actually helps me concentrate on just the book alone. I process the words, and my mind takes in the words, and I get lost into the fantasy elements and all that. But when I don't have music, or I don't have something to pay attention to, I typically either will still focus on the actual book, but I find it a little bit harder sometimes. I find it like where depending on my environment, then it comes to play. Where if I'm in a quiet environment, I can do it a lot easier. Of course, I can focus on a book. But if I'm like in a house with a lot of people, or if I'm in my apartment with the TV playing in the background or something like that, or on the subways or trains, whatever, I lose that kind of grip on me. I lose that illusion, that transition into that illusionary realm that a book can offer, because the music is not there. Because I'm listening to everything else in the background, and my mind's wandering on different speeches and different things. It's not eavesdropping, it's just how it is. In anime, that almost is the same concept. Your eyes are looking at a visual image, of course. You're looking at animation going off in different scenes, doing different things. But you need that kind of burst. You need that kind of focus point where it's the music that makes the scene, it accompanies it perfectly if it's done right. With a lot of romance anime, like, Your Lie in April or Clannad, for example, having the tune that goes with the moment makes it where that scene is a lot more strong and impactful. Without that, if you think of music, I say do this, and this is something that I've tried doing before in the past. Take your TV, put subtitles on, and turn the music off, turn the audio off completely, and you'll find that you lose yourself. Even no matter how beautiful the actual animation is, you'll be like, huh, this image doesn't have the same impact. It's weird, but it actually does happen. It occurs a lot. So what you have to really do is you have to understand that OSTs and anime are really, really direly important. They are something that's 100% necessary. Without a good OST, the anime can't fall flat. Now, is there a lot of shows that have bad soundtracks? Honestly, I haven't run into too many that I feel like aren't good with soundtracks. There's a few out there, but I typically forget them all anyways because they're forgetful in general. But typically, what makes the scene in any show, it makes that kind of, your goosebumps rise in your arms, that your hair stand up on your neck, is the music that's playing besides just the action. It's making it where the action's intensified. It's almost like using a magnifying lens on something that you see far away. Of course, now you can see it a lot closer, but you see it stronger than before. And in the sense of the music, it's making it where it's magnifying the imagery before you in a way that your mind is taking it in and going, whoa, I'm getting lost in this actual scene. This is amazing. Now, same thing with voice acting, and I know this kind of maybe going off topic a little bit. I don't want to do that in my anime talks. I always try to stay on point. But going off topic a little bit, if you think about it, the same thing can be said with voice acting, because voice acting is a sound. It is a melody that's being played, because our voices, have tones to them. Without the right accompanying tone for a character, you lose that immersion. You have a kid talking in anime, and it sounds like a 40-year-old man. You're going, well, I can't see this kid being a kid. I see him as an older person. Equally, vice versa. You have a 40-year-old guy being played by a younger guy, and you're like, I can't see that. I can't see the maturity level. I can't feel it because it doesn't have that tone to it. It needs that tone. So equally, voice acting is a type of music, if you think about it, a type of OST, because it's needed in anime. It's needed to magnifying that image that you're watching or the animation that you're watching at the moment. Now, are there ways to kind of fix if a bad, for example, you're watching a show and you have a really horrible animation or horrible, with good music, I think sometimes you could fix some imagery. I'm not saying all the time, but there are some shows that, despite their kind of meh imagery, they work better because of the music. Like, for example, Ping Pong the animation actually does have some really good songs. I'm not saying all the songs are good, and I'm not a huge fan of Ping Pong the animation in general, but there are a few scenes that really kind of get you pumped up because the music is playing in the background despite the weird animation style, and that is something that's good. That is something that makes it where you go, oh, okay, I could get into this because I'm listening to it and I'm like, I'm revved up. I feel like I'm playing a sport right now. Anyways, guys and girls, that's it. I want you to leave me your comments below. Tell me, how do you feel about music? What's your favorite OST from any anime? You can tell me in the comments below. As always, please like, comment, share the video, subscribe. The whole nine. I will talk to all of you later. Have a great day. I know I'm flubbing my words toward the end, but I'm a little tired, so it's already like 9 o'clock at night. But anyways, I'll talk to you all later. Have a great night. Well, great for you guys. It'll be day. But talk to you all later. Bye bye.